Hi, my name is Anna Larry, and I'm a participant in an online provincial instructor diploma course called Instructional Strategies. In this video, I'm going to explore the instructional strategy, Detection of Invariants, taken from the learning theory Situated Cognition. I'm an electrician, I'm an instructor at the British Columbia Institute of Technology, and I'm a yoga teacher. I'll explain why this is relevant in a moment. I teach pre-apprentices the Electrical Foundation program at the School of Electrical Construction. I'm preparing these students to begin their journey as electricians. This journey will involve an apprenticeship of some 9,000 hours of training, including time spent on the tools and in academic modules. These apprentices will wind up performing electrical work on very diverse job sites. There will be industrial work for BC Hydro on high voltage equipment, or working with programmable logic controllers and human-machine interfaces in factories and plants. There will be work on massive infrastructure projects like the Canada and Evergreen lines. There will be commercial work building schools, laboratories, hospitals, and shopping centers. There will be residential wood frame construction. How am I, as an instructor, going to be able to prepare these students to operate successfully in these very different environments? If I look at a catalog from electrical component manufacturer Thomas & Betts, I see some 27,189 different components, even taking into account duplication for different sizes and colors. That is a massive number of different components to be familiar with. How am I, as an instructor, going to be able to familiarize these students with so many different components? How are they going to be able to correctly select and install them? The Canadian Electrical Code is 643 pages long and covers 7 different wiring methods, 16 different types of raceways, and a plethora of other critical regulations. How am I, as an instructor, going to be able to train my students to safely perform all these different types of electrical work? This is where I come back to the learning theory and the instructional strategy derived from that theory that resonates most closely with me as a person working within an apprenticeship structure. I believe this instructional strategy functions well in preparing electrical apprentices to function in diverse situations. This theory is called situated cognition. It is a theory that is based in a large part on Lev Vygotsky's theories, specifically that of the zones of proximal development, and on the study of apprenticeships in traditional societies. Situated cognition looks at learning from a broad and holistic perspective, incorporating behavior and cognition by recognizing the interaction between people, the environment, and the role of situation. The detection of invariants is a key part of the theoretical framework of situated cognition. This allows the learner to successfully perform tasks in widely varying environments. And this is where I come back to yoga and being a yoga instructor. I've been practicing yoga for 22 years and an electrician for 17 years. At first, I thought that these parts of my life were discrete and in no way related to each other. As I moved through many complex and challenging tasks in my work life, my yoga practice became more complex and more challenging, and I started to see many similarities, both in terms of being tenacious, but also in terms of approach. In order to successfully perform a yoga pose, I have to pay close attention to alignment principles. My muscles have to have the right level of engagement, and my breath needs to be smooth and controlled. In order to successfully perform electrical work, my mechanical connections need to be sound. The work has to be performed according to the standards of the Canadian Electrical Code, considering safety, protection, circuit loading, and demand factors, and the installation has to be serviceable. Whether I'm tying in a motor controller or going upside down in a handstand, I'm looking for those invariant factors that will allow me to safely and successfully perform these challenges. When I think in the affective domain, the learner has to have the right level of arousal in order to perform electrical work in a timely and safe manner. Job sites can be very stressful environments with lots of noise, dust, and poor lighting. The apprentice has to be able to safely negotiate these hazards and get work done. When I perform a handstand in yoga, I have to look about me and make sure that I can land safely if I lose my balance, make sure that I am not too fatigued, and that I am calm. Working in the well-equipped shop at BCIT, I am able to implement this instructional strategy by introducing different wiring methods such as non-metallic sheath cable, flexible armored cable, and conductors pulled in conduit, while enforcing the importance of sound mechanical connections, electrical bonding, aesthetic consideration, and functionality. We repeatedly splice electrical conductors using these different wiring methods until the learners are able to successfully pre-assess, install, and test electrical work in a variety of different environments. The learner's job is to be able to translate the practice work done in a tidy, organized shop into the much more chaotic environment of the job site. Unfortunately, some electrical work is so specific and so esoteric that only further specific training will allow the learner to make successful installations. It is also important to limit class size in order to optimize learning in the workshop. There have been great challenges in the trades in terms of dealing with cultural and gender issues. Women are still significantly underrepresented. Much as there are invariant factors that must be adhered to when performing electrical work, there are invariant factors that must be adhered to in the treatment of electrical workers. Part of my job as an instructor is to inform apprentices of their right to a harassment-free environment, their right to refuse unsafe work, and the procedures they can follow if these standards are not met in classrooms or job sites. A qualified electrician must be able to work on diverse job sites with confidence, safety, and a spirit of inquiry, much as a yoga practitioner must be able to approach new postures with a spirit of inquiry and appropriate confidence. The detection of invariants makes successful outcomes more likely for both the yogi and the electrician. Both the yogi and the electrician go through lifelong apprenticeships as they continue to build on and refine their abilities and skill sets.